Welcome back. In this video, we're gonna start animating the second scene. Right now, I already have my After Effects file here. And as you can see, we have the frame 1 animation within this main composition here. If I toggle the timeline, you can see my animation over there. I kind of want my animation for the first scene to last for 5 seconds in order not to rush it. So next thing I need to do is go back to the project panel on the top left corner here, this panel, and then go to the storyboard 2, frame 2 composition. Double click on this one as well. Now I'm inside this frame 2 composition. I can see the background is still a bit short. There's a black bar on the left. So I need to go to the bottom background, hit S on keyboard for scale, just make it a bit bigger. That's good. So what I need to do right now is I need to copy everything. You can use Command A for select all and then Command C for copy. Go back to the main composition on the timeline over here. And then if you click on this frame 1 and then hit on Command V, it's going to paste everything on top of the frame 1. Whatever layer you click on and then you select Command V for paste, it's going to paste on top of that layer that you selected. Now I can just kind of drag everything to the 5-second mark because the first 5 seconds is going to be my first scene, right? And then I want to drag all of the other layers for the second scene at 5 seconds. And around 5 seconds, this is where the transition is going to happen. We'll have this first frame slide to the left, and then the second scene, it can slide from the right to the left. And then the airplane, of course, is going to travel from the left to the right. So let me show you what I mean. First of all, I need to put a position keyframe on this frame 1 composition. Hit P on the keyboard for position and then put a keyframe over here at 5 seconds and then maybe go forward, Command Shift right arrow, 10 frames. And then maybe another 5 frames, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I solo this one, I need to have this whole layer move all the way to the left. Something like that. And now I just need to have the newspaper texture and this white background layer to move from the right to the left. So hit P on the keyboard, set a position keyframe. This is going to be their ending position over here. However, the starting position would be all these 3 layers coming from the right hand side here. I want to move the rest of the layers a bit further down so that they're not covering the background. I want to see what it looks like now. Let me put the preview range from here to here. Use B to set the preview starting point, and then use N to set the preview ending point. Yeah, something like that. I have this transition here. We're gonna have this scene, and then the camera pan to the right. We have this scene here. I need to select all the keyframes, right click, keyframe velocity, put in 66, my go-to number. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And now what we need to do is, remember we have an animated texture within this frame 1. We need to copy, go into the frame 1 and then go down. You see this texture here? We need to copy this texture. Command C, and then go back out to the main composition, and then over here hit on this texture layer, Command V, and then I can drag this layer all the way back to this point here where they all come in, and then make sure at the end point around 5 seconds 17 frames over here, I just need to parent this layer to the newspaper or to the background so that it's moving with them. And now I can just turn off this texture, original texture, which is not animated. I just need this new texture layer that's already animated. I can even delete this one. I don't need this one anymore. So now this texture layer is parent to the background so that it's moving with the background, as well as being animated from our first frame, first scene. So the next thing we need to do is we need to introduce the airplane. I want everything to start. I want the airplane to come out maybe around here, to come up from here. So I just want to animate the airplane first, but I'm thinking about what I need to parent to the airplane because I don't want to animate every single thing individually. I kind of wanted to parent the ribbon to the airplane, and then the text to the ribbon, and then this little blue bar to the airplane, so that when I animate the airplane, everything just moves with the airplane, so that I only need to animate one thing. Now what I need to do is I need to parent the ribbon, so the airplane shadow should be parent to the airplane. The ribbon should be parent to the airplane. Come with us should be parent to the ribbon. And then we have this rectangle here. I want this rectangle to be parent to the airplane as well. So now, if I hit P on the keyboard to pull up the position property for the airplane, and then I can add a keyframe by clicking on the stopwatch here. So I want this airplane to come from the left. Oops. What is this? This is the shadow of the airplane. No, not the shadow, the wings. This layer here. So I need to parent this layer to the airplane as well. Now that I have everything parent to the airplane, I can just move the airplane to the left. You see that everything is moving with the airplane? Just move it out of the scene here. Okay, that's good. Move it out of the scene and then maybe go forward 20 frames or even 10 frames. Let's try 10 frames here. So I moved forward 10 frames and then I want the airplane to come in around here like this, and then I need to add a keyframe here. Use this button, little dot in the front. And then, because when the airplane comes in, I want it to come in very quickly, but then in the center, around the center area, I want it to hang a little bit before it exits. So I want the airplane to kind of slowly hang in the frame for maybe 1 second or so. Like this. And then for another 10 frames, it can exit the screen. Alright, something like that. You see there's these two keyframes are a bit further apart from each other because I want the airplane to have more time to stay in the center of the frame. I think the hang time is not enough. I need to even pull these two keyframes further so that there's very long hang time. I think it's still a bit too fast when it comes in. So I'm gonna add another 5 keyframes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 when it comes in, and then maybe another 5 frames when it exits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just making these keyframes further apart so that the airplane can have more time to travel across the screen. I don't want it to be too jarring, too fast. I just want people to read this "come with us" line pretty clearly, and then we can convey the message. Yep, that might work. I think that might work. And then let's move on. So right now, everything looks fine except for this little blue rectangle, which looks pretty weird. I don't know why it's hanging behind the airplane, but I need to adjust this little thing here. So when the airplane comes out, I want to go drop this down to the mask and then go into the mask path. What I need to do is I need to click on these two dots and then pull it to the left so that when the airplane comes in, it's not extending over to the front of the airplane. So when it comes out, the airplane will come off first and then having this little rectangle underneath the airplane, which is good. That's good, that's good, that's good. However, over here, see that little blue rectangle is broken at this frame? There's a big gap on the left, so that's not what we want. I need to have this blue rectangle stay there. So now what I need to do is, at this point, when our airplane moved here, I need to duplicate this rectangle, Command D, duplicate this rectangle, and then make sure I need to unparent the new rectangle to the airplane. Just make sure we have none, so this one doesn't have a parent. And then I need to cut the rectangle over here. So to cut it, I need to use a shortcut, Option left square bracket. You can see the layer is cut over here, and I need to go to the original layer and cut it to the right, Option right square bracket. Now what happens is, from this point moving forward, the rectangle is not going to travel with the airplane because this one, the new rectangle, doesn't have a parent. So as the plane moves, it's going to stay there. However, I still need to animate the mask path. So let me go into the mask and then hit a keyframe over here. And then when the plane travels out, I need this mask path to expand out as well, so that it looks like the plane dragged the blue rectangle all the way to the right. You see that? So this is what we want. And then the plane just exit, our blue rectangle is still here. Next, what I need to do is add some waving effect to the ribbon. Let's go to the ribbon and then let's go to the effects and preset panel. Search for roughen edges. As we have the ribbon layer selected, let's double click on those roughen edges. And now we need to adjust some of the settings over here. The border, let's make the roughen border bigger, like 50. And then fractal influence, let's change it down maybe to 0.8. And we need a bigger scale as well. You see that there's the changes. The waving effect is too much. We need a bigger scale. Probably change it to 550 so that we can have a more natural waving effect to the ribbon. And now what we need to do is just to animate the evolution. So as the airplane comes in around here, I'm gonna add a keyframe over here, and then until it exits around here. Let's add a, maybe put a 3 here so that there's 3 rounds of evolution. Yep, you can see the ribbon waving, right? This is the effect that we want. All right, that's good. And that's about it for all the animation. However, remember from the first lesson, we need to add some wiggle effect to everything you see in the scene. So now we can just go back to the frame 1 and then select any of the layer. We need to copy all the effects, the wiggle effects and the posterized time effect, Command C. And then come back to the second frame. I need to copy the wiggle effects onto the airplane, and then maybe on the, maybe not the rectangle. I don't want the rectangle to move too much. Let's try put it on the ribbon, and then let's try put it on the text, come with us. However, I want to try to reduce the wiggle amount to 3 pixels on the text. I don't want the text to move too much. Let's preview and see what it looks like. I think what's happening is that the posterized time on the airplane is messing up the animation because right now it's only showing 5 frames per second. I don't need that for the second scene. I need to delete that posterized time, and then I just need to delete the posterized time altogether on the second scene. Let's see. Alright, that's our animation for the second scene. It looks pretty good. That's it with this video. Let's move on to the next one.